Supervisor Park came. Master, the maid. Jungkook looked at the chain, let her go. Supervisor nodded and went to inform the security guard. Jungkook picked up the chain with happiness in his eyes. He had searched for it for long, but he never expected that it was picked up by you. When you mentioned the hotel, he remembered how the little daring girl asked him to sleep with. Minho was ready to discuss the business with him when Jungkook stopped him and took the medicine that sent by Mr. Bang from Itaewon Villa and stood up. Save the business later when I will arrive at company. Minho nodded. Supervisor was curious. Master, where are you going? Back to Itaewon Villa. The supervisor, Mr. Park, looked at Jungkook's hurried face. He didn't look back. The supervisor, Mr. Park, sighed. It was rare for Jungkook to come and stay here. After marriage, why he's going back again? Thinking about this, Madam is over there. So, Supervisor thought that Jungkook must be worried for his wife. Speaking of this, Supervisor turned to look at the servants. Don't spread the news about Master. Yeah, that's how they hide rich Master's ugly deeds. Hearing this, Minho scoffed and said indifferently, about this matter, Director Park can rest assured because Madam won't be getting angry with me. Minho walked out as well, leaving Supervisor stunned. Huh? Why doesn't the Madam care about it? Is the Madam so generous? You walked out of the Sinchon Villa's gate, but the problem is you were sent by driver 2 days ago with shopping bag, and now you remember that you have no car to drive back to Itaewon Villa. You heard the noise of opening gate and black car drove out of gate. You looked back. Car stopped and the glass window slid down. Why are you standing there? Get in. You licked your lips with no other option. You get in the car, sitting beside him. Car drove out of area in silence. Let's go back to Itaewon Villa. He said unhappily. Are you happy to be back to the place where your ex-boyfriend lives? What are you talking about? You looked at him. Shut up. He stared at medicine in his hands. To the hospital, Jungkook. You walked behind him all the way to the hospital consulting room, complaining and come out after checking. You hate eating medicine. I said, I am okay. You don't have to come to the hospital on purpose. You had to little run with his walking speed, but then he stopped to look down at you. If I didn't see the purplish bump that accumulated blood, will be still careless. And he strode ahead. Didn't you hear what doctor said? If it didn't dissolve for long, then it will have to prepare for operation. It's not that scary. You looked at him in disbelief. You are making it worse. Doctor didn't say like that. How could he try to scare little girl? Jungkook frowned. Even if it's not the bump in your forehead, I still take care of your throat. What if your tonsils worsen? I don't want to hear you screamed with strange voice near my ear every night. It's very disturbing, Wine. You stopped and stared at his back with pissed expression, then followed him. Then don't listen to it. Sleep on your own. His hands clenched into fists as he saw two people in the hospital. Save the lie that Wine worked in the Hive Enterprise. They were just living together, he sang. Jivon walked behind. What's wrong? He turned back, easing his expression. Nothing. What's the result of examination? Jivon wore simple knee-length dress with long coat and her skin was white and delicate. Several strands of hair curled naturally in a Korean style and made her look more beautiful. But she is turning pale. She shook her head, smiling. The doctor said it was alright. I need to rest for more time. He sang, "Thank you for accompanying me here. Anytime, let's go." After getting into the car, his son didn't start the engine and seems he is lost in his thoughts. Yvonne looked at him sitting on the passenger seat. His son, "What's wrong?" He turned around. "Umji, a few days ago you said that your father called wine over." Yvonne nodded. Of course, she made Dad pissed off, and she didn't even regret it. His son's eyes flashed a trace of danger. "He knew you well. You were just like that. You wouldn't hesitate to do what you had decided. It was impossible for you to take back your words. That's why he's also suffering. Didn't know why, but when his song mentioned your name, his feelings was complicated. That made Giovanna unhappy, even though she tried to smile. Then how about his son suddenly had an idea. He wants to know why was his aunt's son is with you recently. His son's eyes turned cold and sharp. The word of you being Jungkook's underground lover is pricking him. Save the lie that wine is work in the Hive Enterprise, she's just having a affair. As soon as car stopped, Jungkook got down and walked inside. He stared at his back, so arrogant. "You found the maid you asked to replace her place by you was there." Mr. Bang followed Jungkook after welcoming you guys back. Jungkook asked to let kitchen prepare dinner as you walked to maid. "Didn't I ask you to take a leave? Why are you here?" "Madam, I don't dare." "Useless," you angrily said. "I have sat, but it's you who give up the opportunity." Maid nodded, not speaking. Another came. "Madam, don't blame her. If Master found out that we were being lazy, Master will fire us. Mr. Bang is very strict as well." The maid just lowered her head. "How dare you?" pointed at her, feeling betrayed. "I see why Jungkook recognized me. It's you who called him and told about me, right?" "No, it's not. They're frightening as you quarrel with them." "Madam, we didn't tell Mr. Bang sent medicine yesterday after Sir called." "You didn't? You thought about the moment you had suffered a great grievance and gritted your teeth." "I am doubtful about your words." "Nonsense." "Will Mr. Bang not tell Jungkook if he knows it?" "You are bullied over there. He loves you, but his love is different. Next time I will count on you." You walked in. They followed you behind like chicks. "Enough, you traitor. Don't talk to me," you said angrily. The maid behind puffed out her cheeks. She didn't dare to hide this matter. Chunko glanced over as you walked upstairs. Maids all stopped in on their tracks. He drank tea and read the documents. Mr. Bang was telling the information what had happened in the past 2 days. "Well, it seems Madam is getting along with you." "Well," Jungkook didn't raise his head and take a sip. "Unknown to me, you guys let her go to pretend to be a servant. If I remember, I asked you guys to take care of her." He glanced up and two maids are already shivering. "You misunderstood," Mr. Bang explained. "I was thinking that both of your relationship was too rigid these days. Maybe it was an opportunity and Madam took initiative to look for you." "She took initiative to look for me." Jungkook smiled. "Do you think she will do such a lovely thing? His wife isn't that considered, didn't she?" "She might hear that. I asked you to buy women's supplies and thought that I was hiding women over there." He continued to flip through a page of documents. Mr. Bang remained silent for a moment. "This is really an incident. I thought Madam is missing you, so she went to find you." Jungkook snorted. "Missing him? Would this woman miss him one day? It's really hard to figure it out." Mr. Bang sighed. "But why did you ask us to buy so many female supplies? What's the matter?" Jungkook's private life wasn't good at all. Although there were too many women wanting to get close to him, it was impossible for him to have another woman, knowing how he taught it on this little woman. Jungkook mentioned Thung's proposed to hold a swimming pool party calmly. Mr. Bang also gave a sigh of relief. A faint smile spread through Jungkook's lips. But letting her to be maid wasn't bad idea. After all, it's impossible for you to serve him and he had enjoyed. Sitting on the opposite side dining table, you and Jungkook ate the dinner. You keep eating the delicious meal, puffing out your cheeks. Jungkook keep looking at you, not eating his food. Why are you looking at me? Is there anything on my face? I think maybe you can eat more gently. He looked at the all foods that you are eating messily because no one is fighting for it with you. No woman is graceful eating without manners. I am sorry, you chew. I suddenly found that the dishes here are delicious than restaurant. Other present was smiling hear it. Madam, the chef will be very happy to hear it. Mr. Bang said, you nodded. Yes, it's really delicious. You should consider rising chef's salary. Mr. Bang looked at Jungkook. You looked at him in amaze. Did he really agree to rise chef's salary just because of your words? You smiled and lowered to it. I will learn from the chefs someday. Maybe I will be able to. That's enough. Jungkook immediately destroyed your thoughts, scattering young women's fantasy of cooking delicious food for her husband. You felt frustrated. What do you mean? Enough. If I'm not good at yet, it doesn't mean I will not do better in the future. How could he blow up young women's desire? Why listen? Don't go into the kitchen. We have chefs and servants here to do that for us. Is that so? You felt happy somehow to have such a considering husband. It's good that you think so, but don't blow me up. Ouch, I want to learn. Jungkook glanced over. Okay, you can have a try. You can go to kitchen when Thung will comes over. He is targeting his own best friend. His heart is too dark and it's too terrifying. He put down the spoon and got up. You can take your time. You blinked your eyes and looked at his figure walking out of dining room. Why should I wait for Thung to come and cook? What does you take me for? How could he ask for other men to cook? He snorted. You will only cook for Jungkook alone. After dinner, one of maid came to inform you that Jungkook called you in his study room. You were playing your phone, looking the updates on social media. You locked your phone and went to the Jungkook study room. He was working on the paper. He had finished checking dozen of papers. When you arrived 10 minutes late, then he had asked me to call you over. Are you looking for me? You walked to his table, wearing shorts pajamas. He raised his head from the paperwork. Wine, I seriously doubt your concept of time. You were 10 minutes late. Do you know how many things can do in 10 minutes? I'm not like you, Mr. Jones, who can get tens of millions money in a few minutes. You looked around. Why are you so serious? We are at home. You stopped stunned when you realized something. Jungkook's expression relaxed a little as he continued to approve the documents. There was a rustling sound of writing on paper. You both remained silent for a moment. Why did you say home? Was this your both's home? The home where you could be comfortable, ugly, without any hesitation? You smiled awkwardly. The atmospheric was a little subtle. I mean, since you are not in the company at night, don't be so serious. He glanced by the corner of his eyes, skipping this topic. He finds you are looking around. Why are you looking at everywhere to find a chair? Oh, I saw it. You did a little run and plugged into sofa. Jungkook frowned. He wasn't used to it, whether it's in his company or in study room. When his subordinates reported him something, they don't dare to take a seat. You want to discuss something? What's the matter? You crossed your legs. Watching Jungkook doing something over there, Jungkook glanced. You are sitting a little far. It's not easy for him to talk. Wait there for 5 minutes. He was dealing with company's paper. Without minding, you scroll down on your social media to the multinational company's owner. His 5 minutes is equivalent to and some ordinary people's monthly income. He did what he should and walked over with file in his hand and sat beside you. So he put the file on your lap. This is the appointment letter sent by Mr. Kim to Hive Enterprise. Mr. Kim intends to meet me, my father. You are stunned. Why he wanted to meet you? He opened the document. To the Hive Enterprise CEO, Mr. John, you need the appointment letter. It was mentioned that your father wanted to have a look at his daughter's working condition in the Hive Enterprise and to meet your boss. Is he going to the company just to check my work situation? He looked at Jungkook. Businessmen are always like that. You didn't expect that your father would give Jungkook an official letter of appointment to the Hive Enterprise. You didn't know what to react. Why your father suddenly have this idea? Does he care? The recent news in the media, he's touting our relationship, so he wants to come to Hive Enterprise to confirm it. You are a little shocked to have kind of thoughts. It's because that media had mentioned you as Jungkook's underground lover. That's why your father going to meet Jungkook. This letter was sent to the Hive Enterprise in the name of Kim Group. That is to say, it's a formal meeting. You move closer to him, then you will agree. He nodded and put his hand around armset on the sofa. Usually, I generally agree to the formals appointment, but if you don't want your father to go and confirm your business, I can refuse. You looked at his face. What do you then? Reading your facial expressions, he knew. I want to hear your opinion, he smiled. Don't you want Mr. Kim to go and see you? Your mood dropped each time you hear about Kim family. You sighed. It's little complicated. Some moments were kind of appreciation and some were resentful. Father's disturbed swept you out of Kim family and your boyfriend broke your heart. You were left alone with your helplessness. However, you are always grateful to Mr. Kim. He had raised you up when your mother left you alone. Even after you being a legitimate child of his, he had given equal rights to you in the Kim family. The grace of freedom, you couldn't deny this. You are a little nervous. I have an idea. What if you push his reservation? Will he doubt on you? He hummed as he was having rational analyzed. It seems that I don't have reason to do, and if this matter was spread out, it would show media's gossip show, and it made Hive Enterprise unkind to refuse a visit of your father. He sat there comfortably, saying with his calm and gentle voice, "You understand what he's referring to? My father treated me well in the past." Your eyes slightly turned red, but after he drove me out and turned his back to me, in fact, it's kind of painful. The person you thought that they were yours made you feel lonely. It's hurtful. He smiled and take your hand on his palm, looking at the pair of couple rings. At this age, you should have been in college with your friends. Go shopping in the weekends and watch movies, but You were hiding from media. Your eyes became sour. People were just like this. No matter how difficult it was, you could take it without saying a word. But when someone comforted, you will break down. You force back and blink your eyes not to cry. Not everyone is lucky enough. You wanted to take your hand back, but Jungkook intervened with his. In fact, you are lucky because you made me. He gave you a mysterious look. Okay, let's talk about appointment letter sent by Mr. Kim. He dropped his hand on your thigh. Mr. Kim wanted to have a visit at Hive Enterprise. If you don't want to see him, then I can help you to push his appointment. By my opinion, is that let him go and confirm it. Why? You looked at him, eyes becoming wet. Wine, you have to understand it. Some things, the more you try to hide it, people will gossip wrongly and spread it out. He ignored the tears in your eyes. For example, there must be a lot of people who want to verify your relationship, no matter it's Kim family, others or media. If I didn't respond to this appointment, then it will make others feel that our relationship is more mysterious.